Welcome foodies, and in today's video I'm going to be testing kitchen gadgets that I bought at Daiso. All these gadgets were ones that I purchased at the Daiso store when I went to Japantown a couple weeks ago. I will be linking all of these down below in the description box, and if I cannot find them like on the Daiso online store or whatever, I'll just link similar ones down below, so if you find one that you like, you can purchase it. The first gadget that I will be testing today is this lemon sprayer. So looking at the instructions on the back of the gadget, it looks like all you have to do is cut off the top of a lemon and then screw in the spray nozzle into the lemon. So let's try that. So right now I'm just going to cut off the top of the lemon, trying to make it relatively the same size as the bottom of the spray, so we'll have no problems when we screw in the spray top. So following the instructions, I'm just going to place the bottom of the lemon, which I did not cut, on this like ring holder thing. I'm not really sure the purpose of this, but I'm just following the instructions. And now I'm just screwing in the nozzle into the lemon, tightening it to make it secure. So to test this, I have here a piece of clear plastic that I found. It's just something like clear so that we can see the lemon juice when we spray it. So let's see. So this gadget did work pretty well. I was actually quite impressed. I didn't expect this to work. The only thing that was difficult was that I couldn't spray it like horizontally like it was in the picture. I had to spray it vertically in order for like any juice to come out. So to evaluate this gadget, I don't know many things that you would use this gadget for, so I would give it a practicality score of 3 out of 5, just because like I don't know how many things you'd use it for, like besides salads or something, I'm not sure. It did work pretty well, just the one thing is that you cannot spray it horizontally, you have to spray it vertically in order for like the juice to come out. So I'd give it a functionality score of 4 out of 5, and the likelihood of me using this gadget again is like meh. I might use it again for like a salad or something, so I gave it a 3 out of 5. So that gives it an overall score of 10 out of 15. So the second gadget that I will be testing today is this Mandarin Peeler. So looking at the instruction sheet, it looks like all you have to do is make 2 incisions on the sides of it and then like peel it off, kind of like peeling a banana, but like using a little gadget to cut it. So here I have a mandarin and a little gadget, and I've just washed the gadget obviously, and now I'm just following the pictures on the instruction sheet. I don't quite know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to make them like in a triangle pattern. So I tried to use like the little like, I don't even know, like that little nip thing that was like cutting everything to like try and like start it, but it didn't work. So I just used my finger. This did make a very clean cut. I was like really impressed. It worked really well. I didn't think it would be sharp enough, but it was. And yeah, I decided to peel half of it with the peeler, and that took like kind of a long time, not gonna lie. It was a little bit of work. And then I peeled the other half with my fingers to like compare the time, and guys, literally peeling it with your hands is so much faster. To evaluate this gadget, I would give it a practicality score of 3 out of 5, just because I know it is an issue for some people to like start peeling, because like you have to get like that first little dent and then peel it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know some people struggle with that, so I gave it a 3 out of 5. It did function pretty well, I will have to say that. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I took away 1 point just because it was a little bit confusing on how to keep it on the mandarin, but otherwise it worked pretty well. The likelihood of me using this again, probably not. I just think it's a bit faster to use your hands and just peel it in like 2 strokes instead of like individually doing like 8 different cuts, but that's just me. So I give it an overall score of 9 out of 15. So the third gadget I will be testing is this universal core spoon. Looking at the instructions provided, it's pretty straightforward actually. All you have to do is cut around the base of the stem in a circular motion in order to cut the core out. So to test this, I'm going to be using a bell pepper like shown in the instruction sheet. I'm just following the instructions and just going around the base and cutting it out. So I did find 2 baby peppers inside of my large pepper, which was kind of cool. The core did kind of work. It kind of just felt like a regular knife, to be honest. It didn't feel like anything special. So I thought I'd give the core another go. Maybe the bell pepper wasn't the best choice, so I decided to buy a cabbage, and I wanted to cut the core out just like it looked like in the picture on the front. So this core actually worked really good for this cabbage. I feel like the shape of the core really helped in the cutting process. Because it was curved, it just fit really nicely around the stem, and it helped me get around the core, which I feel like a knife, because it's not like curved, it would have been harder. So yeah, and it just popped right out. It was really nice. It was just like a scooper. It looked just like it was in the picture. And yeah, I think this one works really good for like cabbage type vegetables or whatever, just because it needs like a curved knife rather than a straight one. Just for comparison, I wanted to show you what you would do if you didn't have a core and you just wanted to use a knife. You basically follow the same steps. You just go around the base of the stem and then just pull out the core. And it's really fast and really nice and easy. To evaluate this gadget, I would give it a practicality score of 3 out of 5 and a functionality score of 3 out of 5, just because it worked okay. It worked better for the cabbage than the bell pepper, and the likelihood of me using this again, probably not, so I gave it a 2 out of 5. That gives it an overall score of 8 out of 15. The fourth gadget I'll be testing is this boiled egg mold. Looking at the instructions, it looks like all you have to do is put a hot boiled egg inside the mold, put the cap on, smush it down, and then put it in the refrigerator. So as the instructions say, you need boiled eggs, and they have to be hot and peeled. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to peel each one of these eggs. My peeling skills are not very good, but anyway, I tried to peel these as fast as I could, just because the instructions said that the eggs needed to be hot in order for the eggs to mold into the specific shapes. So now that both my eggs are peeled and still hot, I'm going to follow the picture on the instruction sheet and just place my egg right in the center of the mold, clip the top part in, and then refrigerate it for 5 minutes, and we'll see how this goes. So here are the eggs. They have been chilling in the fridge for about 5 minutes, and now we're going to see if they have changed shape. So as you can see, at first glance it does look quite good, but then when you take it out, you can tell it doesn't really look like it's in the shape of a heart. It kind of looks like a deformed egg. It just kind of looks like someone just cut the top off. Hopefully the star will be a lot better. Nope, it's worse, yeah. I can kind of see the shape of a star, not really, but yeah, this does not really look like a star at all. To evaluate this gadget, I'll give it a practicality score of 1 out of 5. I don't know why you would need to mold your eggs, so yeah. It functioned okay, not too well. I can kind of see the shape of a heart and a star, but not really. So I got a 2 out of 5 for functionality, and the likelihood of me using this again, I probably won't, so I gave it a 1 out of 5. That gives it an overall score of 4 out of 15. The fifth gadget I will be testing is this rice molder. Looking at the instructions, it basically looks like all you have to do is fill the mold with rice, stamp it, and then put your filling in where the stamp was. So following the instructions on the sheet, I'm just filling the mold up with rice and using wet fingers to push it down firmly. And now we have to use this little white thingy, I'm not really sure what it is, but just this little white thingy, and press it on top, and then put the stamp inside the center, and then push down. And now we're supposed to hold it and then pull the plastic mold off of it, and then slowly take off all the other plastic pieces. So I actually felt like the little heart in the center wasn't deep enough, so I decided to go back in with the stamp and try and make it deeper. It didn't really work, but now I'm just going to fill it with some mashed up avocado. It didn't really specify what filling you should use, so I'm just choosing to use avocado. It was actually quite difficult to get the avocado in the little heart, so I decided to use this skewer to try and push it in, but it didn't really work. So I decided to try again with the other mold that is in the shape of a flower, and this one was a little bit easier just because the center was a circle and not a heart, so it wasn't really a defined shape, so the avocado didn't get everywhere. To evaluate this gadget, I would give it a practicality score of 1 out of 5. I don't exactly know why you would need to do this, so that's why I got a 1 out of 5. It did function pretty well, I would have to say. It was very easy to take off the mold and the plastic, so I gave it a 4 out of 5 for functionality. The likelihood of me using this again, I probably won't, so I give it a 1 out of 5, so that gives it an overall score of 6 out of 15. The final gadget I will be testing is this Dumpling Folder. Looking at the instructions, all it looks like is you just put your wrapper and then your filling, and then just fold the gadget over, and it should make a beautiful looking dumpling. So to get started, I'm just going to put down my wonton wrapper. I got these pre-made at my local grocery store, and then I'm just going to put a little scoop of this pork filling that I made into the center. The instructions didn't really specify how much filling you need, so I kind of just eyeballed it and put it in proportion to the picture. And then I use a little bit of water to go around the edges of the wrapper just so that when we fold it over, it'll stick together. So after I was done watering the edges of the wrapper, I just folded the gadget over onto itself, pressing firmly down so that the edges would stick together. You can see this gadget made a beautiful looking dumpling. It looks just like it does in the photo, and it has beautifully crimped edges, and I just love it so much. Because this gadget works so well, I decided to make more dumplings, and this literally did not take that much time. Usually it takes a lot longer, but this gadget really helped speed up the process of folding the dumplings. To evaluate this gadget, I would give it a practicality score of 4 out of 5 just because most people don't make their own dumplings. They will buy them pre-made from a store. This did function perfectly just like it was advertised, so it gets a perfect 5 out of 5. And I will most likely use this again, so it got a 4 out of 5 for likelihood of use. So it gets an overall score of 13 out of 15. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to comment your video suggestions down below. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye!